Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Hangar Control. This is tutorial series number 2, or tutorial episode number 2, where we will continue on with control bindings, taking one button and giving it many actions. So stick around for that, as well as a quick update to Hangar Control's progress and what has happened in the last 10 days since its release. If you are interested in any of my tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future guides that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. Okay folks, so before we get into the tutorial portion, let's talk very briefly. I want to give a big shout out to the community. 10 days since the release, and the software has seen massive amounts of changes, new features, changes in the UI, changes in the operation, 95% of which was based on your feedback. If you guys are interested in picking up Hangar Control or learning more about it, be sure to go to overkillsimulations.com, select Hangar Control tab up at the top. I will also have the release video linked down there in the description, where it gives a very high level, barely scratching the surface of what this software can do on top, if you guys want to check that out. Also, be sure to join the Discord. A link to the Discord is in every single one of my videos, and you guys can come and hang out and be a part of the conversations. You guys will be able to see the interaction between myself and the community, the feedback, the change logs, everything that has happened in the last 10 days. I am overwhelmingly grateful for all of the support, communication, and patience that you guys have provided me, and I think we're finally getting Hangar Control in a really good spot. We got many more changes coming this week, so stay tuned for that. And again, the best place to be a part of the pack is through Discord right now. Okay, so that's the end of the intro. Remember, again, overkillsimulations.com. Click the Hangar Control button if you guys want to learn more about it. It also does come with a 5-day free trial. Okay, so for the tutorial, let's start with control bindings number 2. So last time we created our simple complex. Oh, and by the way, this is also supporting XPLANE 11 and 12, in case you guys are wondering. But last time we went over a very simple build for very basic users. If you guys are interested, make sure you check out the channel, and you guys can go to the playlist for Hangar Control, and you'll see the first video called Basic Controls. So today we're going to take it up a notch. What we're going to do is we're going to take one button, and we're going to give it multiple actions. So first thing that I'm going to do here is we're going to go into our Bravo throttle quadrant, and I'm just going to pick a button. So I'm just going to clear this one here. I know which one this one is. This is our autopilot button, and we're going to select it. Okay, so up here is where we can choose our different kind of depressions, and we're going to be adding multiple to a single button. All of this binding is going to be happening with just this one button today. So what we're going to do, and I think the easiest way to show this off very quickly here is just by using the lights. Now, I did forget about one thing I need to do. I need to start the service. There we go. And we need to flip that guy off and come back in here. All right, so now let's begin. Let's sort of get our lights into view here. There they all are. And so we've got our beacon light, landing light, taxi light, and I think that's the nav light. Yes, it is. Old eyes. So let's begin. Single press. Now with all of these buttons, everything I'm about to show you will work with any of these methods. So you have Sim Connect, you have a keyboard button, and then you have your XPLANE command and data refs, but obviously we don't want to use those for Microsoft. Keyboard is exactly what it sounds like. You strike a keyboard action. Shift A, B, T, number 1, it doesn't matter. Whatever the keyboard bind is, it pops this up, and you guys can bind it to whatever you want, right? Let's clear that. We're going to work with Sim Connect. So it doesn't matter, and you can mix them, Sim Connect, keyboard commands, it doesn't matter how you do it. You can mix them all up. Each bind is different from the other. So we're going to go with Sim Connect. We're going to go into our browse button here. I'm going to go to my essentials tab here. I'm going to sort by the name, and let's just look for lights. And let's see what we got. What are we starting with? Our beacon light, right? Beacon light set. So for anything with a set, we're going to want to make sure that we give it a value. If it says on or off, you don't need to give it a value. If it says toggle, you don't need to give it a value. But we're doing set, so we're going to set 1. Okay. And this is an advanced configuration. You don't need to do anything with this for this tutorial. We're just going to hit OK. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to come back in here, and you don't have to leave it every time. I'm just showing you how we're doing everything here. Keeping it very concise. And then we're going to go to add press, and we want to add another action to this button. So you have a couple to choose from. You have single press, a double tap, so 2 taps in a quick succession, and I'll show you guys more about that down below, but for today we're going to move on down here. We're going to move to a long press on this one for this kind of a configuration is how I like to do it. Okay, and now we're going to go to, again, Sim Connect as our default. Lights is already saved. Essentials is already checked. It remembers from the previous set. And we're just going to sort by name again, and let's see what we get next. What do we want next? We want, actually, landing lights is next. So we're going to go 1 on the landing lights. Hit OK, and save again. I like to save just to get it in there, right? And then check it out. So let's do, again, this is a very unrealistic configuration here, but let's do 1 more for the taxi light, okay? So we're going to add a press. Only this time we're going to do a release. So what happens, we know that this happens when the button is pressed for half a second. We know that this is what happens when a button is pressed for 1 second or more. That's a long press. And by the way, you can change those variables right down here at the bottom. This is in milliseconds. So 500 is half a second. Long press, that's 1,000. That is 1 full second. The double tap is 2 rapid successions in less than 300. Let's see here. What would that be? 0.3 seconds. Let's put it that way. I don't feel like mathing right now. All right. So we're on our release, and we're going to set this to the taxi light. And so in this case, there it is. Taxi light set. Boom. And again, hit OK and save. All right. So now let's sort of check this out. If we just do a quick tap, now what you guys are going to see, remember what I said, a press and a release and a long press, right? So when I first tap it, I'm just going to do a quick press. It's going to press and release. So what we should see is the beacon light and the taxi light come on. Boom. Now for that long press, I'm going to hold the button for 1 second or more, and we're going to see the landing light come on. There you go. So that's a quick demonstration of that type of configuration. Now, let's show you guys one more thing that we can do here with these. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is how, and this one you could get ridiculous with. You have 2 different options here. We have, as we talked about before, you have a sequence and you have cyclic or step. Step is, as we talked about previously, a real quick highlight. Every time you push the button, it executes a new action. So that's what we're going to do today. And then you have the sequence. You push the button once, and it does a list of actions with an interval in between. But we're going to do the step because I thought this was pretty cool. This was another one that was actually suggested by a user. So again, we're going to go to add press type. And again, there's our sequence. We're going to go to step, hit select, add. We're going to go to single press. I'm just going to remove that just to keep everything nice and clean in the UI. You don't have to. I just like to. All right, and then we're going to go to add action. And this is so simple, guys. So we're going to keep it with Sim Connect. We're going to go to Browse. And let's go to Beacon. Let's work our way around again. And we're going to use the set variable. You don't want to enter anything here. I actually need to remove this, I think. I think we're going to get rid of that window. It's not necessary anymore. It's kind of redundant. Because when you hit OK, you're going to get prompted with this for this particular screen. We're going to set the value as 1. We want them to turn on. And we're just going to keep adding actions. This time we're just going to go right down the list. So that was Beacon. Now we want what? Our taxi, right? Or is that landing? Landing lanes. Oops. Nope, I got it. What am I doing? So again, you can just double click 1 and add action. And we're going to do taxi. 1. And we're going to do nav. Just to get a little extra one in here, right? I feel like when I do these, I sound like Bob Ross. Just a happy little tree, happy little switch. You know, that's what we're going to do. Just throw in that happy little guy. And we're going to do one more. Get that little guy in. Can't leave him out all by himself, can we now? I can't do it. No one can ever replace the Ross, especially with that hair. All right. So now we're just going to hit save. And here we go. We're going to walk down through it. It's that same one button, guys. You guys can see it light up every time I press. There's our beacon lights, our landing lights, Our taxi lights? Our nav lights? Did I not get our strobe lights? I thought I did. Oh, let's see if we missed something with the strobe lights. That's interesting. Strobe lights set 1. I wonder why the sim did not like that one. Let's make sure that everything else is good here. We'll see where it is in the step process. Yep. Boom, boom. It does not like the strobes. Doesn't like the strobes, man. Alright, so let's try something else. Let's do a little test here. And we're gonna go... Those are the only... Oh, that's the only one on the essentials list. We can keep looking. That's not the only option we have. Let's try strobe lights on. Let's see if the 172 is just being finicky. We won't need that for this. There we go. Give it a nice save. Oh, no. There is something about the strobe lights it does not like at all. Well, that is an issue with the Cessna 172, because as you guys can see, the rest of them are working. I've actually noticed a lot of weird issues with the Cessna 172 in this latest patch, but that one is very odd, so I'll have to see what's going on with that. It could be a command that's improper or incorrect, but I don't think so. That one looks absolutely correct. It's correct. Let's try something else. Let's swip that up. We're going to do some little testing together here, because this is what we've all been doing anyway. Let's do... battery. And we want master battery on. Let's do that instead. Let's see if it cycles through. So again. Yep. Okay. So it is not an issue with our software. It's something about that SimConnect command. I'll take a look at that. I don't think it's the command because I've seen it work with other aircraft. But the Cessna 172 has been finicky. It's like the other one is the avionics switch. Trying to get these to come on with anything other than avionics toggle sucks. So probably didn't pick the best aircraft for this particular demo. But as you guys can see, you definitely can see how it works. And it worked all the way through with all 5 steps once we found commands that worked for it. I hope you guys are excited about this. I hope it's another cool way. You can take one button and you can go endless. You could essentially just tap one button over and over again. That would ruin a lot of the fun, but and it would literally walk through your startup process for you, and then you could add the sequence where you'd shut them all off. And you can do that with anything, any button, switch, axis, whatever it may be. You have that option. So again, guys, if you guys are interested in Hangar Control, there is a 5-day free trial. Head over to overkillsimulations.com. Click on that Hangar Control button. Learn more about it. If you guys are interested, you must register on the website first. I've seen a lot of this. This question comes up a lot. You have to register for an account first. Once you register for an account, you'll go to the account page up at the top, and then you will be able to download the software. That option will be there for you at that time. Again, join the Discord. Tons of communication, tons of talking going on. People are already starting to help each other out as we get more and more familiar. It is constantly changing and evolving. I am listening to you guys left and right, writing down all of your feature requests. We've got a lot of them already in. It's been a blast. It's been very frustrating at times, very, very scary for me at times, but it's coming together. So as always, guys, you know the drill. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.